OK. Right, hello and welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyway? Featuring this week the incredible Josie Lawrence of the Comedy Store Players, the inexplicable Paul Merton, also of the Comedy Store Players, then the totally inexcusable Tony Slattery, not of the Comedy Store Players, and finally the indescribable Mike McShane, who's probably never heard of the Comedy Store Players. There's never no contestants. Right. We start with a game called Authors, in which the contestants link up to tell a story. So if you'd like to come down here, ready? Each of them adopting the style of a famous author of their choosing. So, Josie, who have you chosen to adopt the style of?
I'm going to do nursery rhymes.
Nursery rhymes, are the many authors of nursery rhymes?
Yes.
Yes, jolly good. Paul?
Yakushimo Okomo.
Japanese writer.
Japanese writer of the 17th century.
Yes, I very rarely read anything else. Tony Slattery.
The person who writes ITV continuity announcements.
Right. Clearly a very highbrow show tonight. And Mike?
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, jolly good. A real author we got to at last. Now, can we have a title, a nice exotic title for this story? I think there should be this week. Oh. More exotic than silence. Anyway, what was that?
Day at the Seaside.
You regard that as very exotic, do you? Let's make it a day at the seaside in Singapore, having a Hungarian meal. That makes it nice and exotic. So, a day at the seaside in Singapore, having a Hungarian meal, starting with you, Josie.
Little Polly sitting on the floor. She was at the seaside in Singapore. Little Polly did whatever she could feel. Then she went and had a Hungarian meal.
Yes, and there's a definite Japanese flavour to the sparkling new season on ITV. First off, we have the return of that lively sitcom, Not Between the Sheets, Vicar, I Got an Infection.
Well, Huckleberry Finn went to the clinic for the infection. But unfortunately, none of the doctors spoke his particular brand of homespun American English. So he went over to his friend Tom Sawyer and said, "Let's slaughter a pig and make some goulash." After that, they picked up a couple of prostitutes in Shantytown.
Oh, could I be in heaven or could I be in hell? I found a pixie in a seashell. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it cute? Let's go and take him to the prostitute.
And indeed, the prostitute turns out to be...
So Huck Finn turned to the little Singapore children and said, "Well, somebody's got to help me tear down this fence so I can get to these prostitutes."
Thank you very much. Very good.
Very good.
Quite how your collective imagination got prostitutes quite so often in there, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll give you 1.5 points. Would have been more, but for the prostitutes. Now let's get on to a game called Film and Theatre Styles. They break into 2 pairs for this. First pair is Josie and Paul. So I'd like to step forward. I'll give them the situation in which to improvise in just a second. But what we like traditionally in this game from the audience is some theatre and film styles for me to slot them into as we go along. Oscar Wilde, yes, that's... Yes. Sorry? 3D. Sorry, get away from that previous round anyway. Sorry?
Billy Smart's Easter Special.
Billy Smart's Easter Special, yeah. Sorry?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu, yes, good.
Stanford Bailey.
Hang on, I thought we're just coming to an end there. You're all evening doing these. Now, your situation is you're playing Cinderella, meeting the fairy godmother for the scene when Cinderella wants to go to the ball. OK, that's your scene. I'll give you some styles when we get into it.
I can't... Bloody hell.
Is there an off-licence round here?
No one is here.
Oh,
no one is...
Yeah, go on.
No one is at home but me. Everybody has gone to the ball.
You must be Cinderella,
Yes, I am. You must be...
the fairy godmother. I only help Matt when they're busy.
Kung Fu.
Wow!
Tell me, oh great fairy godmother, what must I do to get to Great Ball?
Well, first of all, I will pick up this apple. You must grab it from my hand before it turns into a midnight coach and 4 horses.
Oh, what's that over there?
Where?
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde, yes. Oscar Wilde.
Oh, please, I do so want to go to the ball. Would you care for a cup of tea?
That's very Oscar Wilde, that is. Yes, you can always judge a man by the way he drinks his tea. A man who drinks it with the handle facing towards him is necessarily a liberal. A man who drinks it without the cup is obviously mad.
It's as though Oscar had walked in, wasn't it? Let's have something easier then. 3D.
Oh, look, I'll make you a cup of tea. Here it is, I'm pouring it out now.
This little mouse here, this will turn into a Palomino horse with a wave of my wand. Here it goes!
I hope
I
the
can't
shoe
stop
fits.
it! I can't stop it!
Let's end on Billy Smart's circus.
Oh, look,
Yes?
I want to go to the ball, but you know that teacup?
Yes?
Well, I've got a piece of bamboo here. Now, you hold that.
Right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Make the Palomino horse walk a tightrope, that'll...
Okay. Come on, Neddy.
You can get arrested for this in some countries.
Thank you very much. Yes. I don't know. I think we lost the plot line there and then, but never mind, I'll give you no points. So we now come to Tony and Mike, so come along. We want some more film and theatre styles for Tony and Mike.
Indiana Jones adventure movie.
Easy Rider, well, I think that's a sort of style. Amateur dramatics. Oh, I think we've had Woody Allen finally.
Tennessee Williams.
Tennessee Williams, yeah, that's good.
Pages advert.
Yellow Pages advert. Yes, always help Mike McShane week, isn't it? Right, so your situation is, Mike, you are recruiting Tony for your Magnificent Seven. Okay, that's your situation. I'll give you some stars in a minute.
So you're Lumbago de la Tour, noted dog raper, huh? Well, listen, Poochie boy, if you make it out of this man's army, we'll pin a medal on you. If we don't, we'll pin a bullet right there.
Shut your face and put this collar on.
Oh, dear. No. Yes, all right, amateur dramatics.
I'm sorry. God, they're out there.
I'll willingly join your band of frankly frightening desperados.
Then only a brave man with a heart and a head that can match his courage can join our army. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Yes, Easy Rider.
You know, you're taking on a tough deal. As soon as we cross the borders to Mexico, I want you to strap the kilos of marijuana to your back. They let hunchbacks through. It's a certain nativity week here, and you're religiously blessed. They'll be patting you a lot and feeding you tortilla chips, but...
I want to do all that. I just wish I could walk in these leather trousers.
Why don't you finish on Tennessee Williams?
It's hot.
Louisa, come here. I want to tell you, Big Sergeant here has had an awful big hankering for some fine British butt. Now, after we get done with this little caper here, We're gonna go to my shanty shack in Puka Town, and I want to pour a bottle of Southern Comfort and give you a long.
Oh, Rocket, don't. You know.
Thank you very much. I'll give you a bonus 15 points each for interrupting all your jokes on that one with my buzzer. That's all right. Never mind. Let's go into a game now called Song Styles. So step forward, Mike McShane. He's going to make up a song on the spot with the assistance of Richard Ranch at the piano or one of the many other musical instruments there. So, but a song about a household object. Can somebody suggest a nice order?
Ironing board.
So what was that?
Toaster.
A toaster. Don't think we've done that before. No. So, a toilet seat. Sorry. So that's a word association you have with toaster. All right.
How about a combination toaster toilet seat?
Now we need a style, please, for. Oh, gospel. So you chorused it. There's a whole church meeting advocating gospel. So where you go, toaster, style of gospel.
Everybody, I'd just like to testify a moment about a little appliance that means so much to me. Hey, every morning breakfast just seems the same. I have some juice, and it tastes really lame. But God be praised, God high on the most. I finally found something to whip up my battered toast. This slender machine in the corner of my kitchen I park. And praise be Jesus, the bread goes in light and comes out dark.
Thank you very much. Very good. Yes. All right. Step forward, Josie. She's got to sing about the same object, toaster, pop-up toaster, something like that, but a different style for her.
Hillbilly.
Oh, that's far too difficult for me to understand. Motown. Have you done the Motown? You haven't. Let's have a Motown from you. So, Josie Lawrence, Motown, toaster.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I must be the saddest toaster in the firmament. 'Cause I've been suffering from a burned out element. So I cry, 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 and ask why? No more can I make the bread flip, 'cause they threw me on the toaster tip. Oh, I'm an old toaster, going down on a roller coaster. Nobody loves me and I'm feeling down because I can't make the bread go brown. Oh, please, I say, don't just toss me away. Baby, baby, I love you so. Please don't let your old toaster go. Don't throw me away, don't throw me away. I'm not an animal, don't chip my enamel mold.
Josie? Excellent. Well, all right, well, I'm going to give 17 points to that game, but I'm not going to say to whom I'm going to give those points. Now we come to a game called World's Worst. This features all four contestants standing, please, on the World's Worst step. And just as they think of ideas, they've got to step forward and give examples of the world's worst person to be stuck in a lift with. So, as you think of it, I'll buzz when we've got the idea. Do as many as we can at the time.
Can you go ahead and get that button for me? I just had a hell of a curry dish.
Oh dear, we're stuck. I've just been out to buy a carving knife.
Hello, my name's John Sessions.
That was a great party. It's moving right.
I'm sorry, my waters are breaking!
You don't mind if I bring the pigs in with me, do you? Go on, George.
Whoops. Never mind. Lucky I got my cassette deck and my Bros tapes.
Oh, look, just the thing to do is not panic. Let's just keep our spirits up. Kumbaya, kumbaya.
Looks like the elevator's stuck for a little while.
Yes, that's right. Hitler's a name. What about it?
I suppose we could always take our clothes off and have sex.
Thank you very much. Any more? That's it? Well, that seems quite enough. While I work out the points of that round, you have to go away and watch some advertisements while we sit here waiting for you. See you after that. Bye. Well, with 93 points everyone that last game, we move on to a game called Party Quirks. This is going to feature Tony Slattery pretending to be the host of a party. The others will be guests. Each of them has been allocated. If they look in the envelope in front of each of them, there's a quirk, a style of behaviour that they have to portray, and Tony has to guess. Tony, you getting the party ready, are you?
Yes. I'm rather nervous. I've never staged a come as one of the Wooden Tops party, but I do. Hello, Paul, come on in.
Hello, did you know that if you took the stomach of a whale, you could encompass it across the Empire State Building, it would reach as far as Pennsylvania?
Yes, I did know that. It's odd, isn't it?
Yes. Did you know that Cliff Richard, in a previous lifetime, was a Carmelite nun?
I'm sorry, I'm falling asleep. Would you like to just have a twiglet or something?
Well, you know that the word twiglet was invented in 1926 by Gustav Twiglet.
I've got to... Yes.
He was working on a plastic extrusion machine, a new type of Volkswagen, and twiglet was a nearby product of that.
Yes.
Do you know the Chinese word for twiglet means
Excuse me, I must go and answer the door and then perhaps get a revolver and shoot you. Hello, come on in. Sorry, was this how you'd like me to speak to you? Not Anne Diamond, are you?
Do you know that breakfast TV in this country began in 1985?
Did it? Oh.
Its audience figures now approximately are 1.5 million per day, although there is a drop down at 9:30 when it goes to 0.2 million.
I'm sorry, if you're looking for his brain, you won't find it.
The brain is one of the most interesting organs in the human body.
Excuse me. Hello, Mike, come on in. Have you met...
Wonderful year for Tony. Tony is dressed in a very beautiful blue suit with a rifle tie.
Do you like Neanderthal woman here?
Oh, yes, well, man, yes, we've got a
The
table.
Neanderthal woman left. I made my way over and greeted the next guest.
Yes.
He
Hello.
shook my
I'd
hand
be
rather
careful.
lamely.
I'd be careful with him.
Any guesses?
Do you realise that handshakes in Tibet are a form of buying eggs across the counter?
Oh, it's Desmond Morris or the Guinness Book of Records, or just very, very boring.
Everyday conversations seemed to include things about Desmond Morris, as the Daft Pratt kept going on about inextricable trivia.
Oh, yeah.
I think you've guessed, Paul. Well done. Thank you very much.
Yes,
That's a point.
endless
So you go
string
now,
of-
Paul. You've been guessed, albeit by the wrong person.
Mr.
And you've got 3 seconds
I
to
walked
guess.
over to the table. It was decorated in a fine white cloth.
what is he doing, Tony?
With glass bowls.
you're a narrative
which were full.
storyteller.
Narrative storyteller, yes.
Oh. Thank you.
Well, a particularly difficult selection to guess there, Tony, so I'll give you 15 points just for carrying on talking. And Mike McShane must get double points for actually guessing one of the fellow competitors. So now we go to a game called Rock Opera. And the 4 contestants are now going to improvise a rock opera based on the life of somebody here in the studio audience, with the assistance of Richard Ranch of the Comedy Store Players on the musical instruments. So I'm going to wander into the audience and find who that somebody whose life is going to be about. I'm going to... you, sir, in the second row there. You probably thought you were safe in the second row. Can I ask your name, please, first of all?
Nigel Portman.
Nigel Portman. Jolly good. Now, I want to base on your life, but perhaps you did a little more fiction in it as well. Is there a job that you'd like to do? If you didn't do the job you have already, I assume you've got one, but it's something you'd really love to do.
I'm a carpenter and I'm happy doing that now.
OK, we'll make it carpenter then, that's fine. So, OK, I thought I was being a bit imaginative there, but let's stick with carpentry. Is there a hobby that you like doing? I'd rather you didn't say carpentry, because it doesn't help the plot line along, you see.
I like watching rugby, which I
Like watching rugby. So let's make it rugby and carpentry, right? Is there something that's happened to you in the last week or two, an interesting incident? Wish. Or ever in your whole life?
I washed the car yesterday.
Wash the car, right. Okay. So, where's the camera? Yes, so here we are. It's what we like is a rock opera based on these things, which is carpentry, washing the car, and rugby. Rock opera based on that, away you go.
Have you got the saw?
Yes, I've got the saw.
And I have the hammer and a nail.
Together we'll build a house. It won't be frail.
Won't be frail. I love you, do you love me? I love everything about carpentry. I love you especially.
You and me, babe, working so hard, building this house in our backyard. It's heaven.
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 Heaven. But where is our friend? Where can he be? I heard he journeyed far to rugby.
Yes, he did. And he'll show up soon.
What are you doing here?
I'm talking to you. I'm a rugby player, and I want you to see my balls.
Look at those balls. What massive
But you know, rugby is very far. You've obviously dirtied your car on the way. There is a man we know. He loves to wash cars so.
He's got an enormous sponge.
Yes, he's the sponge man.
He's the sponge man.
Here he comes. The sponge man.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's the last game, and it just remains for you to total up the scores. And thanks to that stunning performance as Sponge Man, I see that Paul Merton hasn't won. It's Mike McShane is this week's winner. So well done, Mike. So, just the prize for winning is to read the credits in a style of my choosing, so Mike has to read the credits as though he's just won an Oscar. So I'd like you to do it, please. So it just remains for me to thank Josie Lawrence, Paul Merton, Tony Slattery, Mike McShane, Richard Ranch at the piano and the other instruments. It's me, Clive Anderson, saying good night. Good night.
Whose line is it anyway? Well, it starred Clive Anderson, Josie Lawrence, Paul Merton, Tony Slattery. I have to thank them, because without them, I'd only be one really large guy on the stage. The vision mix of Peter Phillips, because I'm so good. I really don't get this out of the run. Joe Thompson, the costume, she's fantastic. I loved her work in Blade Runner. There's the Philpott, is fantastic too. Christy Moses, I'd like to thank my mother, Jane Bigger, Carrie Fletcher, my aunt, my uncle Johnny helping design people, the director, Chris Bowles, Denise Donnie, couldn't be about it. You like me. You really like me.